Hi, I'm Belinda Jennings from Mum Central and Australian Baby Bargains. We're an online community of women around the country. One of the things I've learnt from being in business and running an online community is be true to yourself and be true to your community, because it will always shine through and help build your credibility. And I really hope that you enjoy my story tonight.
Welcome.
Thank you.
So, what inspired you to set up Australian Baby Bargains in the beginning?
Back in 2009 I had my first son, and I turned to eBay to sell the gear that he'd outgrown, and kind of accidentally fell into starting a business. I just wanted to find a bunch of mums who wanted to sell their baby gear because I got fed up with the fees because they're quite expensive. And I thought, I'm here to raise my family, not make eBay richer. So I turned to Facebook and started Adelaide Baby Bargains. And I have a marketing background, so I just used that to encourage local mums to come. Let's sell amongst each other and let's save money. And obviously I tapped into something quite powerful because it exploded. So I was on maternity leave at the time, just returning to work, and developed a website so that we had some functionality and I had some control over what I was creating. And I really started to learn quite quickly of the opportunity out there. I'd always wanted to start a business. I knew it would be online because I love online and technology. I just didn't know what. Well, I learned very quickly what. And I created a community, and I just created what I think is important, and I listened to my members and created what they wanted. And over time it grew very quickly, and I decided I need to make money out of this because it's costing me money to develop a website and my time and effort. And I started introducing advertising for businesses who wanted to connect with our mums. Everyone kept saying it's never going to work, you've got to charge the mums, and I just kept saying no. This is why I started it, so we could save money. So just thought a bit outside the square about what's the model, and try to do things a little bit differently. Over the last 4 years now, we've rolled out around the country, and we have 180,000 mums across the network. And we provide an online platform to buy and sell your pre-loved gear, but we also provide a really safe community to reach out for parenting advice and support and just have a bit of a laugh. Because there's a lot of pressure on mums and dads, and it's a tough gig being a parent, especially first time when you don't really know what you're doing. So to have an outlet for parents to come and connect is that's what's made us so powerful. And we're very real, so we don't gloss it up. So I think that's really helped to create the strong brand that we've got as well.
So how do you make money?
We sell advertising packages to brands who want to connect their messaging with our mums, but they have to meet our values test. So
what is that test?
Well, it's an ethical thing. So we only endorse brands and products that we feel would benefit our mums, and most often I will try them myself or test the service or do whatever it is, so that I kind of endorse what it is we're doing, so it just keeps the value within our community.
And it keeps the quality of your business.
Well, then we're delivering services that are relevant and they're credible, and then that helps the advertiser, but it also helps our mums to know that we just keep it on track.
So how do the advertisers feel when you say, I'm not endorsing your product?
I have to be quite clever around the way that I position that back to them, but it's more or less about the way that I think that we can help them to deliver their message. So generally early in the piece they get a feel for if I'm really excited about the opportunity or not. So
that's good.
Yeah,
it's a good story.
Yeah.
So,
keep it real.
So even though it's an explosion, you must have also experienced some setbacks. What are some of those setbacks and how did you deal with them?
So like Layla said, cash flow. I'm not a guru of financial accounting, I will say very honestly, and I've always said that from the start. So cash flow forecasts and budgets and all that kind of jazz are challenging for me. I want to get out and talk to the mums and do all these great things. So, cash flow management has been challenging, and it was a hobby for the first year. So suddenly I needed to start driving revenue, and I'm generous, so I wasn't charging anywhere near what I should be, and just all those kinds of challenges around getting, a funding model up and going. Staff, yes, hire slowly, fire quickly, learnt that. And industrial relations are tough when you're a small business owner and somebody's kind of holding a noose around your neck because they're not kicking goals and you're trying to get your business off the ground. So, there's challenges around HR, and so again, HR cap, finance cap, and you just want to get your business off the ground, so that's been challenging. And again, technology too, because developers can be a league of their own, and it's understanding.
Have you educated yourself on finance, HR?
I've outsourced to really good people that I trust. Yeah, picking the right people.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Again.
and it takes a while to find that right person, but gee, when you get them, you hang on to them and you look after them.
On that little tip about hiring slowly and fire fast, I take that to the extreme where you hire slowly, hire very, 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 very slowly and fire fast. It's all in the hiring.
Yep,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Don't want to fire. It's not fun. So, once again, on the fridge, by the computer, somewhere on a wall, on your baby's cot.
Yep.
There's an inspirational quote or motto.
Yep.
What's yours?
Wish it, dream it, do it.
Yeah, good.
I live by that, and I guess I've had I'm full of ideas, and I have all these ideas, and sometimes that little voice on your shoulder says it's not going to work, or no, that's too much hard work, or whatever it might be. And I think it's about just set the wheels in motion and dream big, because some of the things I'm doing 4 years later, I've got goosebumps. Some of the things I'm doing now, back 4 years ago, were just a pipe dream, and it's just put yourself out there and sometimes just throw it out to the universe and just see what comes back, because people come into your life, and especially people that I've connected with in my life, I really believe are here for a reason to help me on my journey, and it's recognising the opportunity and just getting your teeth in and going for it. Otherwise you'll sit still.
So how many children?
2.
2 children, thriving business,
Yep.
gone national,
Yep.
that wonderful work-life balance. Do you achieve it?
I'm looking at my husband. Do I achieve it?
Does she achieve it?
I do. I work really hard to try and balance it. I have an iPhone and an iPad and a laptop. So I do... No, quite honestly. My husband and I had a really honest talk very early in the piece, because I could see where this was going. It was getting legs, and I knew that this was going to take off. And I said to him, it's about getting on the same page. And, I don't want to be laden with mother guilt that I can't be there for my kids every time they get out of childcare, or, be at home with them all the time, because I'm just not that mum. Like, I can't be with them around my feet all the time. It does my head in. So that, well, it does, I'm being honest. So that I can create a future for our family, here's our opportunity, I want to go after it. My husband, he steps up, and he's the one that drops them to childcare and picks them up, and, has dinner fed to them most nights, and has them in the bath, and we work as an awesome team so that we do it together. And I know a lot of you might be going, oh, yeah, I know, because it's pretty cool, but it helps us. Well, it is. No, it is. It's a great setup, and it helps us to create the unit that works together, so we get the balance. And being online, you can work from anywhere, so it's
You're still working, but it's flowing.
tick, tick, tick. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good answer. So your top tools and resources for business, what are they?
Lots of cloud software for me. So I have my team, I've got a team of 6, and they all work remotely generally. So, Dropbox has been fabulous for me for sharing files and having everything accessible without having to run my own server, or, God forbid, anything that's quite expensive like that. Try to run lean. And, Xero, amazing for accounting. Asana is a really good project management tool that I work with. I've got a couple of virtual assistants offshore that help me do a lot of the back-end stuff, so I can just set them up with tasks, and it automates that process. And even access to, being a Mum Central, which is our latest website, is all about content and publishing, quality images. It's all about perception and the professional finish that you give. And so, I pay a monthly fee to an image library so that our articles have a beautiful picture that just is quite appealing. And, we're women, well, not all of us, but for women, it's nice to look at pretty things, and it helps, helps to create the atmosphere of our community. So that's a couple of the tools that I use, yeah.
That's good. So we heard from Layla that the search optimisation is key for her business to promote it. What's key for yours?
Social media. Yeah. I've grown my business on social media.
And any particular?
Facebook. Yeah. I hate it sometimes, but
what, too much
who
work?
doesn't? No, it just they keep changing the rules all the time. And no, but look, without a doubt, I started with $5,000 once I created my website. But to dip my toe in the water and see would this idea work, I turned to Facebook, created a page, and just went out there to the mums. It was 4 years ago and Facebook was very different, so it was really easy to get likers back then. Now they just want to charge you for it. But yeah, and I just use social media, and I knew nothing about Facebook. I had only just got on Facebook myself, but invest in subscriptions to newsletters and all that kind of jazz. So you learn from the experts. I've sat on I don't know how many webinars and read so many newsletters and subscribed to so many like self-taught programs. So you just invest yourself in that, because social media is powerful. It's my demographic, and it's really affordable. So it's a really cost-effective marketing platform for small business to get off the ground.
Good. And no other social media?
I've tried Twitter. I'm not very good at it, but I've tried Twitter. Pinterest, yeah, like Pinterest, need to spend more time, but again, time. Yeah. So, Facebook's been the thing for me, and it's been the way I can connect our advertisers' messages now. It's been the way I can connect to our mums and just sort of be that communication wheel that helps us to keep the wheels turning.
Okay, so if you were to commence your business today, what would you do differently?
Probably have a little better focus on financials from the start as far as revenue goes, because I didn't take it seriously for the first year, and I think had I sort of built my business in mind of how I would bring revenues into it from an advertiser perspective, I might have changed things a little bit, which might have put me in a different situation. But I really believe that I just used my instinct the whole way through, and it got me to the pieces. It took me to places along the way, and certain options like the ANZ Innovate Start program, which sort of changed my world from taking me out, putting me taking it to another level, getting mentors tear apart my business and put it back together better than it was before, and standing on the Adelaide Town Hall stage and pitching for my first round of investment and walking off going, oh my God, I nailed that. And then getting inundated with interest from investors. So, I look back and say I would have changed this and I would have changed that, but I don't know that I would have really changed a lot, because I really feel that that's just part of my entrepreneurial journey, and I've learnt lessons.
And I was just going to say that the lessons you learn, they stick, don't they?
Yeah, and I won't do them again, the ones that I got wrong. So it's just about, being aware of what's happening in your business.
Yeah. So Mum Central, tell us more about that.
Yep, so we had Baby Bargains, which was the pre-love buy-sell platform, so think classifieds for parents. And there was this recurring theme in our community of advice and the real mum-to-mum stuff that a lot of the bigger communities just weren't quite getting right. There's a lot of, dare I say, plastic fantastic out there, or experts pointing the finger, telling you what you should be doing as a mother, or what your 4-year-old should be doing at that point. And there's a lot of pressure on mums, and I was getting it all the time. They were writing in, wanting to know what the other mums had to say, because that's what they want to learn from. And so I'd been creating this little powerhouse of ideas, and as I went through and went around the country and sort of built my community so fast when we went national, we went from 47,000 to 120 or 130 in just a few months as we went around the country. And I wanted somewhere that I could put this real mum-to-mum content together that was user-generated. And so Mum Central was an idea I came up with that could be really one big umbrella. And so we've got lots of articles and information and mum-to-mum advice and giveaways and recipes and competitions, and it's just all the stuff that our mums have been asking for. And I've got mum bloggers who are submitting their stories or their content that we're helping to profile. It's just a big powerhouse of, I don't know, love. That sounds corny. Oh God, that sounds corny, but it is. It's just everything that I guess we've built to over the last, couple of years, and it's changed the game for me, because we were baby bargains, and advertisers were going, we're not baby. We don't want to advertise on a baby site. We don't want to advertise on a bargain site, but we want to connect with your mums. And we didn't really have a platform to publish content like that. It was a classified site. So Mum Central is specifically for publishing content and articles and information and searching, and and the brands are loving it. So we're getting some big brands on, which is giving us the confidence to approach bigger brands, and everything's just starting to move, and that means we can grow and innovate and bring on more staff and start getting bigger and better and provide even more back into the community, because we just keep reinvesting it. So yeah, I feel like we've got a bit of a ride ahead of us now, because it's getting like, the ideas are still spinning, but the momentum is that we're creating is really, really big now.
Yeah,
so
congratulations.
Yeah, thanks.
Good story.
Don't sleep much at night now. That's my husband.
Yeah, no, tell me before.
But no, it's very exciting.
So it's now 2020. Adelaide's just been renamed Innovation City. What does your business look like, and what are you doing?
Yep. So Mum Central is one of the leading parenting communities in Australia now, let me tell you. Very well respected, huge traffic, huge reputation. I sold it to a media agency, and like Layla said, I'm sitting on the board making sure that they look after the values and I guess the true vein of what it is that we've created, and just
so you're chairing
creating.
The board.
I'm chairing the board, absolutely, telling them how it's been done. But and I guess for me, my passion is with empowering mums and educating them. So we've just got a lot of things happening at Mum Central so that we can really become become the leading online community. We'll show them what it's made of.
Cool. One piece of advice you would give to someone starting their own business today, what would that be?
Don't doubt yourself. Get out there and give it a try. My idea was just an idea. I didn't know what I was getting myself into, and look where it's got me. So, there's a lot of people that said it couldn't happen, and I just ignored them. I know deep down in my heart that that's what I wanted to do, and I knew that's what the mums wanted because they were telling me, listen to the response out there. Do your homework, don't go in blind, but at the end of the day, just because it hasn't been done doesn't mean it can't be done.
Good piece of advice. Please thank Belinda for it.